Hey guys, it's Drea Van Allen. Sorry it took me so long to get to the third lesson, but here's lesson number three. A little tired, but I had a couple requests as to where lesson number three was, so I'm getting something out there for you guys. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So today we're going to talk about how to practice effectively. Practice often. I talked about that in the last lesson and why that's important. You don't want to go backwards. It's where wind instrument. We use our embouchure. So if you go a couple weeks or something, or a couple days even, you'll notice that you have to practice maybe a little bit longer to get to where you were. I mean, everyone has things happen. I mean, you go on vacations. If you're sick, you're sick. But try to play as often as possible. So what should you have in your music space, your practice area? A music stand. It's great to have. Water, tuner for when you start bending to make sure you have the right notes, a metronome, like I talked about that last time in lesson number 2, to make sure that you're keeping with rhythm in case you have any problems, which most of us do at the beginning unless you're a drummer or have a previous musical background. A recording device so you could hear what you sound like. Sometimes our ears play tricks on us, especially in the beginning when you don't have as much of your musical ear developed. You might think that you sound just like the song, and then you record it and you're just very disheartened to find out that you don't. And it's also a great way to just see like, oh man, I could have done this differently. I could have been a warble there or whatnot. It's good to listen to yourself, and if you have gigs or open mic, to record that as well. Someone's there for you to do it and listen back to it. I don't do that all the time, but I do it sometimes. I like to do it like every 4 months or so, just to kind of keep a tally on my progress. And a pair of good headphones. I have these right here. If you have any questions about what headphones to buy, you could put that in the comments below, and I'll try to help you if you can't find a good pair. Let's see. I'm going to talk about breathing. I kind of touched on it briefly last time about how you could lay down and your stomach should be going up and down and not your chest. We're kind of conditioned to breathe from our chests, but that's not the natural way that we are meant to breathe as humans. We're supposed to breathe from our belly, just like you see animals, dogs, babies before they've been conditioned. And people, when they sleep, they'll start breathing naturally. So if you've ever done any meditation or any yoga or anything like that, or singing, it's the same thing. You are going to be filling up your stomach, and you're going to be breathing slowly. In meditation, they'll do like count to 10 and then breathe out to 10 all the way to your spine. Same kind of deal. And let me demonstrate though. What's interesting is that you're not only going to be like that, but also if you notice your ribs go all the way down to here. And I kind of like to think of this as an accordion. And not only it'll go out it'll go out like this and like this. So and then from the side, of course, is more exaggerated and more noticeable. And you might think that I'm exaggerating a little bit, but just check out when I play. People say that I do like belly dancing things or something, but so that's pretty significant how much my stomach moves, and I didn't really realize that for a while. But practice your breathing. A good way to practice is with the book, but also you want to start increasing the length of your notes. Like you can draw in for 20 seconds or 10 seconds. Start with 10 seconds. Get an old-fashioned clock with the hands on it and start drawing in on like 4 draw, and oh, I got to 12 seconds. Okay, next I'm going to get to 15 seconds, and so on and so forth. I would say you'd want to probably get to about 30 seconds. That way you have a little wiggle room, because when you do gigs, especially in the beginning, you're going to be nervous. It's just natural. And I don't know, when you get nervous, your breathing becomes shorter. Or at least for me, it was like shallower breathing. So I'd be like, okay, I could do like 45 seconds, easy, no problem. But here comes this 25-second note, and oh man, I almost didn't make it. And that's because of my nerves, and I don't know, whatever that is, but it gives you a little wiggle room. So I suggest that. And you also want to work on blowing, not just drawing, but blowing. For me, blowing is more difficult. I can get to about 50 seconds on drawing and about in between 45 and 40 for blowing. And just be aware of the signs of if you're about to pass out. Don't pass out. You'll start seeing like yellow spots. You'll feel dizzy. You might want to practice this while sitting down. Okay. Last time I gave you guys the C major scale, the beginner's blues, or the beginner's scale, and today I'm going to give you the beginner's blues scale. So, I'll hold it up for you. So it's 6 blow, 5 draw, 4 draw, 4 blow, 3 draw, and 3 blow. That 3 blow can also be a 2 draw, because if you know about the notes on the harmonica, the 3 blow and the 2 draw are the same note. They're both G. Okay, so this is what it sounds like. Excuse me if I mess up. This is not the scale that I do. Normally, I do the ones with bends in it, which I will show you further on down the road. So here we go. And then back up. And this is the partial blues scale. I'll give you the complete beginner's blues scale next lesson. And I also asked you guys to be working on your single notes. So I hope you did, because you have to be able to do a single note for this. I guess I could talk about, once you get the single note, how to move to another one. You have to be having your hands positioned correctly. And it's kind of, for me, like a corn on a cob, or a old typewriter type of thing. If you watch, I do this. It's not as exaggerated because I'm going slow, but so it's just ever so slightly. So if you get your 4 draw, which I asked you to get as your first single note, you're just ever so slightly, very slowly. And this is the beginning of a warble. So that's how you move around the harmonica. I will figure out another way to show you guys that as well when we get to faster licks, because I like to do fast things, if you haven't noticed. Okay, what else do I got for you guys? So I wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit about tension and resolution. This is very integral for blues and most music in general. You like to build a lot of tension, and then you want to resolve on a resolving note, as in like a root note. A easy way to think of this, and without getting into too much theory, is to think of the blows. So anything, those are going to be resolving notes. Those are your C chord notes. I think I talked to you about how this is a chordal instrument, and if you're blowing, it's always going to be a C chord. Oh, if you have a C harmonica, which we do, it's always going to be a C chord. It's set up as C E G C E G C E G C 135 135 135 1. Those are the scale degrees. So it's always going to be a chord. You're not going to screw it up. So this is going to be the resolving, and drawing is going to be your tension. You can kind of see if I just play, I'll go 4 blow, 4 draw, and then back. And for whatever reason, you're going to want me to go back to the blow, the resolving note. It's like whatever for the ear, like it's not complete. It does something to people. It does something to the listeners. It'll aggravate them. You'll maybe not aggravate everyone. If you like jazz, it's if you have to resolve mostly, unless you're doing like jazzy stuff, but it'll leave the listener wanting to hear this resolving note. So, yeah, that's a little bit of tension and resolution. Let's see. Let's do more of them. So I'm going to start on 3 blow, go to 4 draw, 5 draw, and then end on 6 blow. So that's a little introduction to tension and resolution. Let's see. Oh, I talked about the notes C, E, G, so I might as well say on the draw side, the notes without bends, and you know that there are bends. So your 2 draw has actually 3 notes in it, and your 3 actually has 4, and then it just goes to 1 on the 4 draw. And 5, there's actually only 1 because you can't bend. Actually, it's only a quarter bend, which isn't notated in Western music. And then your 6 draw also has a bend. Let's see. So the notes are on the draw: D, G, B, D, F, A, B, D, F, A. And the scale degrees are 257, 246, 7246. And this might be something you want to start memorizing. Not necessary, but you might want to if you want to get into theory and you're playing with a guitar player or something. This happens a lot when I play with at jazz night and stuff. That they'll be like, oh, you can go to the 3 or you can go to the 5 or the flat 7 and flat third, and you're like, oh, okay. And then I just pretend like I knew what I was talking about and then just play by ear. But now I'm a little bit cognizant of it. Let's see, last time we talked about the Mannish Boy. Oh, when I was a young girl, about the age of 5. And I talked about how you could improvise with this. Stuff like that. So I said I was going to give you the single note version this time. And the Mannish Boy is like the Muddy Waters famous tune. Dun, 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 dun. So here's the single note version. And if you go back to the improvising, you remember you can do like the chordal thing in between. But let me show the scale or the lick first. So here's the single note lick. It's 3 blow, 4 blow, 3 blow, 3 draw, and 3 blow. And just remember that you can be doing 2 draw instead of the three blow, but I have heard that the two draw is notoriously hard. So I like to start with the three blow. So back to the Mannish Boy stuff. So if you want to mix this with chords or improvising, it could be. You can go. Oh, when I was a young girl, about the age of 5. So you just play the same thing I said in lesson number 2, except for now using single notes. I did add that extra beat in there in the traditional song. So, yeah, and you could slap this. You can do tongue blocking. You could do lip pursing. It's whatever works for you. You could sing. You could improvise. You could do chords in between. Let me try to do more of a full song. I'm sorry, I'm very tired. Oh, when I was a young girl, about the age of 5, my mother said I would be the sweetest girl alive. So you just improvise here. This is the beginning of your improvising. And if you don't know what you should do for improvising, I just gave you the beginner's blues scale. So all of your improvising should be coming from this scale for the blues. Second position, cross harp, blues harp. Last time I gave you a scale for straight harp, first position. More like folky Bob Dylan type stuff, like Piano Man and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to improvise just off of this beginner's blues scale. So right there, I just went 6 blow, 5 draw, 4 draw, 4 blow. I just went down the scale. So this could be as complicated as you want, as easy as you want. You could throw your warbles in there. You could just keep doing the scale in different ways. Yeah, and I'll give you more of the complete scale next time. And let's see. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do for now because I'm really tired. And yeah, I'll get back with you guys sooner this time. Thank you for your patience. And yeah, thank you for all the new subscribers. Oh, I wanted to mention something else. So on my channel, my YouTube channel, I have a whole bunch of videos ever since the beginning of Drea Harmonica time. What's 5? I think there's stuff from 3.5 years back or so, and I really was about to delete it because it's to me it's embarrassing. But someone told me to keep that there because people are going to want to see my progression. And so I wanted to, if you guys want to, you could check out my old stuff when I was just starting out, probably at the same skill level as many of you, and see how I progressed. And I don't know. And I have a bunch of other songs and videos on there, and if you want to check it out. And if not, don't worry either. You just tune into the lessons. I'm not trying to get you to listen to my music. I'm just trying to help you create your own music. All right. Well, thank you, and happy St. Patrick's Day, and have a great weekend. All right. Bye.